Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inappropriate Movie Database, the comedy game show about content warnings. I'm your host, Nick Martucci. I'm back, not dead yet. Uh, right off the top, real special thanks to JD Stevens for covering this show last week, hosting this show last minute. Well, I had the vid. They were great. It was a fun episode, a real competitive episode. Sammie was there. Lloyd Legacy Sharp was there, and Marty Viscosi were there, and it was real bloodbath of an episode. Y'all really kept things close.
It was entertaining. I don't care. It was entertaining, and I loved it.
Jessica,
good time.
Go back.
I'm kind of jealous I wasn't there.
Go back after this episode is done because I want the view. It was one-word titles. JD hosted, just a real good time, and all of my love to them for sticking through it while I ran it from my bed, unable to talk well. Now we're back with a new month. We got new themes going on this month. If you're new here, first of all, welcome. So happy to see you. You should go over to the Facebook page. If you search Inappropriate Movie Database or click the link in the description of this video, that's where you can get all the information about this show, including how to be on it. We have a couple of spots left. I think there's only 3 spots, only 3 more episodes with spaces that I should have looked at beforehand and been a good host, told you how to get there. If you want to be a part of this show and you're available on Monday, the 12th at 9 p.m. Eastern, we've got a spot available for movies with pronouns in the title. Monday, 12/19, 9 p.m. Eastern, we got one spot available for movies set in the 19th century. And Thursday, 12/22, 8 p.m. Eastern, we have one spot available for movies featuring any holiday. That's our holiday episode this year. So if you want to be a part of any of those, go right now to the Facebook page and claim your spot, or look for us on Instagram and Twitter at IMDb Game. You can find all that information there as well. You can ask to be on the show. Let's keep this going because, I don't know.
It's going to be a really easy show if it's just Annie Hall.
What, Josh? Maybe I still have COVID brain. I have no idea what you're riffing off of right now. I've been talking autopilot.
You said the movie. You said the categories movies from Annie Holiday, and I said, oh, it's going to be really easy if it's Annie Hall.
Maybe I needed another week. Anyway, look out for those. I don't know what form the show will take in the new year. It might still be this. I haven't decided yet, but if you want to be on the show in the upcoming weeks, look for those. Tonight on the show, we're doing long movies. That's movies that are over 2.5 hours long. A couple of months ago, we did movies under 90 minutes, so this one is I've been planning it for a while. It took a while to find enough movies that I haven't used yet for it. And I will say this might be the category. It's been a while since there's been this many movies that I haven't seen that I can use tonight. I think the list is 23. I think I've seen 6 of them. So we'll see. There might be some deeper cuts tonight.
Yeah.
So good luck, everybody.
Well,
I think you've all...
Here for insomnia.
I was going to say you've all been waiting patiently, but I think Danny and Jessica have been waiting patiently. Let's bring them all in. Joining me on the show tonight are Danny Bazongas, Jessica Mayotte, Josh Poirier, and Sammie James. Hello, everybody.
What's up, Nick?
Hello.
Let's start off with the person that you will have seen most recently if you've seen the most recent episode. This is, I don't know, this could be 40. I'm not sure how many times you've been on the show at this point. Sammie James back on the show. Hello, Sammie.
Yeah.
How you doing tonight?
I'm all right. Yeah.
Yeah, this for you is not counting the ones you've hosted, which are a few of them. This is number 40 as a guest on this show. I have faith in you. How do you?
I always have faith in Sammie.
I don't even know how to ask it. I was going to say, how do you feel about long movies, Sammie? What a dumb question.
Honestly, I am there are some good long movies. But I am someone who has always been of the opinion that no movie needs to be over 90 minutes.
We are very similar in that field.
I'm like, and I need to ask, so long movies.
Uh-huh.
Do we mean, is this Lord of the Rings long or Evolution of a Filipino Family long? I know movies.
How many other people on this show know the evolution of a Filipino family? Yeah, so it's not going to be like that. It might be like Lord of the Rings.
Okay. It's a 10-hour movie.
I tried to keep it to movies that I think people might have heard of. I wanted to use some of those real long ones, and I'm not that mean with this show.
I watched 4 hours of Evolution of a Filipino Family. It's actually a beautiful movie.
Why didn't you finish it?
One of these
it's that endurance thing, I'm good for 4 hours, but oh man, I don't care how beautiful the movie is. I can't do it.
I was so happy I got to the point where they evolved.
The same guy who did Melancholia.
I was so happy.
I know movies, Nick.
Well,
they evolved into a Filipino Friends with Benefits, but I didn't want to go all the way to
Manila.
All right, we're going to get to him eventually, but Sammie, is that going to be your recommendation, or do you have a different long movie that you think people?
Honestly,
I'm sitting through?
You know what? Like, I don't know
you don't
why.
have to know anything.
I don't know why this movie is what is coming to me, but I know Malcolm X is a really long movie.
I have never seen Malcolm X. That's one that I'm sure is good and feels a little like homework.
It comes to me because you posted like a movie you weren't using from 1994, and I'm like, well, the only long movie I can think of from 1994 is Malcolm X, and that clue does not sound correct.
Nope. Also, Malcolm X came out in 92 and is 3 hours 22 minutes, so that definitely would have.
It was 92. Okay.
92. I think the movie I posted was also 92, so I think you know what you're talking about, kind of.
Oh, okay. Maybe I just said the wrong year.
I already forget what that movie was. I loved it. It
was Evolution of a Filipino Family.
Oh, absolutely.
2004.
Sammy, welcome back to the show. We can't do this all night. Also returning to the show tonight, quickly becoming a fixture here. Love seeing him on the show. Danny Bazongas is back. Hey Danny. How you doing tonight? I'm doing well.
Good. Get rid of that COVID, man.
Yeah, just trying to cough it out of the system.
Cough it out.
Talk about a long movie right there. COVID.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it's what, a 3-year long movie so far?
Yeah. I did like the Malcolm X movie, and it's for a really weird reason. Like, I found out if I was ever strung out on heroin, I could take nutmeg to help me get through it. Now, I've never done heroin, but if I ever wanted to, and I had to get off it, nutmeg's the way to go.
I've been addicted to nutmeg for years.
I was going to say, if you use too much nutmeg in a recipe, you can balance it out with heroin. Well, Danny, do you have like a long movie you think is worth sitting down for? You think people should see?
Well, Yeah. Well, of course, Avengers Endgame. That's without saying. A lot of people
Oh yeah,
had complained that it was so long. But another long movie of mine. It's probably an unpopular one. The Last Emperor.
that is another one I haven't seen.
Yeah, it's really great. It kind of takes. I mean, just the film in the old Forbidden City and all the colors and boom and everything, and then all of a sudden, wham! They're in World War II, getting real with the real world shit. It's like and then this and shit, and you're like, dude. You can't just stay like that no more. It's all about coming of age, I guess. You can't just stay like that no more. You gotta move on.
2 hours 43 minutes. The Last Emperor.
Wow.
And it was like that and Gandhi. I could just sit there and not realize how long they are. I mean, it's just Ben Kingsley, man. He just crushes.
He's a great actor who's made questionable choices.
Yeah, even the comedies, you wouldn't think he could comedy, but I think that was the only best part about The Love Guru was Ben Kingsley.
Well, Danny, welcome back to the show. Also returning to the show tonight, always thrilled to have her here. She's been such a big supporter of the show and such a fun presence on it. Jessica Mayotte's back. Hey, Jessica.
I'm behind the scenes most of the time watching, so
Yeah, which is why it's always good to see your face popping up in this. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I cleaned my house today, so I accomplished something.
You know what?
I feel good.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is a huge accomplishment I usually can't accomplish.
I've been slacking, but I got it done. It's all that matters.
Well, Jessica, you know a question's coming.
I do.
Is there a long movie you think is worth the sit?
What he already said it. Endgame. I loved that. I liked all the adventure movies, but Endgame was definitely my favorite out of those.
Absolutely agree.
It.
It's 3 hours long. I know that the Marvel movies have mostly fair criticisms, but I'll watch all of them. I think I saw that one in theaters 3 times and then another 2 times, which might be the most I've watched the movie that's over 3 hours long.
I think every time I'm at my dad's, we watch all of them, all 4 in a row usually. So it's a good time.
Yeah, it if you don't like those kinds of movies, this movie won't convert you. But if you do, it's one of the best ones.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, excellent choice. Finally, returning to the show, making sure he doesn't lose his title for his 43rd appearance, not counting hosting. Josh Poirier back on the show.
What's
Hey,
up,
Josh.
What's up, Nick? How you doing? How's it going?
Doing good. I know you've been sitting here silently waiting.
Yeah, kind of.
I've seen you change your background, I think, 4 times now. What have you got behind you now?
7 Samurai.
Of course. That's
classic.
I want to add that one too.
Such a good movie.
7 Samurai is fantastic. I love that movie. What are we talking about?
Kurosawa was a big blind spot for me. I don't think I've seen any Kurosawa.
I highly recommend Rhapsody in August if you want one of his more recent ones. It's fantastic. It's just a beautiful film. It's about a bunch of some Americanized Japanese youth who go to spend the summer with their grandmother, who's very very traditional in Nagasaki, and some of the imagery is just amazing. When they show some of the imagery of what the bomb did to Nagasaki, and
I gotta sit down and watch them.
Yeah.
I've got no good excuse as to why I haven't watched any of it, except I didn't watch it during my film bro decade.
Yeah.
So now it's real. It's even harder to go in my I just want to watch something fun and not think for an hour and a half phase.
Yeah. I get the same thing with Citizen Kane and even The Godfather. To be honest with you, it's just one of my film bro phase. And
Citizen Kane was in it for me. Godfather, I've seen once in theaters. I saw a double feature of Godfather and Godfather 2. Thought 1.5 of them were great movies, and then haven't rewatched them.
Was that the one where they spliced them both together, or they showed them?
No. It was one after the other. It was a full day in the theater.
So when we're talking long movies, what are we talking for lengthwise?
We're talking anything over 2.5 hours.
Okay, then Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction and what's the other one that Tarantino just broke up into 4 episodes on Netflix? The Hateful Eight. He just broke it up into 4 episodes on Netflix because now it's 4.5 hours long.
Wow.
Which is weird because the regular version is only 20 minutes of movie stretched to like 2.5 hours.
Well, it's got to be blood splatters, like more blood than the human body will hold. Because that's Quentin Tarantino. That's how he does it.
The guy filmed in panorama and then just did a whole movie of close-ups of faces.
Yeah.
I started in the panoramic. I started in the 16. Was it 16? The ratio, the proper ratio, and it was amazing.
I watched the Road Show and just I don't know.
Doesn't need to be 4.5 hours. That's just you masturbating in front of us, Tarantino.
Tarantino would never masturbate in front of us. He'd never put his fetishes on the screen and force us to watch.
Isn't he in that movie too?
He might be.
That's just what all of his movies are.
That's the joke.
I know.
And I bet you at least half of them are on this fucking list.
We may or may not see some Tarantino pop up.
He might need some nutmeg from all the heroin he's been doing in his movies.
Well, real fun choices. Thank you all for being here. You're all pros at this show at this point. You know how it goes. If this is your first time watching, here's what's going to happen tonight. I've gone to IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, and I have pulled parental warnings for a bunch of long movies. As I say every time, these warnings, I don't write them. I don't know who writes them. I can't believe I keep finding more of them. We've done, this is episode 140. I've got a master list of 1,173 movies altogether.
Yeah.
These people, I don't know why they do what they do, but they have provided me so much. I'm going to read these parental warnings. My friends here are going to try to figure out what movie these warnings are from. Let's jump into it because we talked a lot up front.
Mm-hmm.
To do that, Danny, I'm going to go to you first.
All right.
Would you like a long movie from 1962, 1995, or 2022?
Let's do 1995.
1995. All right. First movie of the night from 1995. It's over 2.5 hours long, this movie. For 5 points under the category of alcohol, drugs, and smoking. Cocaine is snorted multiple times, including one case in the presence of a child.
Huh. I didn't think the Cheech and Chong movies were that long.
All my favorite parts of Cheech and Chong movies are when they're doing cocaine in front of children.
Yeah.
All right, Josh has a guess. Josh, what do you think this movie is?
This Casino?
Right off the bat, 2 hours,
Nice.
58 minutes long. This is Martin Scorsese's Casino.
Movie.
I just fucking watched that too, man. Oh my god. How did I not catch the
Happens to the best of us.
James was
And
yelling
by
at the little
best
kid
of us,
while
I
he's
mean
doing coke
me
in front of
every
her, right?
time.
Also in Casino, under violence and gore, a man's hand is slammed viciously with a hammer.
Oh, I'd see that would have given it me.
Frightening and intense scenes. The pen scene is rather hard to watch, particularly when the kicking starts, since the attacker is known for his hard blows. Frightening and intense scenes. The vice scene is one of the most graphic scenes in the film, as a man's head is forced into a vice and is tightened until his eye pops out. Then he begs for death. What makes it even more disturbing is that it's based on a real event. And profanity, 438 uses of fuck, and most of it comes from Joe Pesci's character.
But how many cocksuckers? It's got to be more than that.
Oh god. Have you ever seen the clean version of that movie? It's hilarious.
Yeah, they say buzzards and
Yeah, it's hilarious.
So what's that, like 28 minutes long?
No, like they just like the swears are all
Yeah, they
off.
change it to something else, friggin' or
Yeah,
friggin'.
It's so funny.
Well, Josh, right out in front with 5 points. Everyone else is at 0.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we're gonna make this long movie episode a real short episode.
I see what you did there.
Jessica, would you like a movie from 1990, 2003, or 2014?
What was the second one? What was the middle one?
2003.
Let's go with 2003.
All right. Why isn't it coming up? There it is. Weird. Okay. 2003. Sammie has a pre-guess, but I'm going to still read this first clue. For 5 points under frightening and intense scenes, a character's transformation in the opening scene of the film may be unsettling and last 2 minutes, though it's not upsetting or emotionally intense.
Huh. So transformation already makes me wonder, but like I see transformation can mean a lot of things. So I am still going to take a shot at it with
all right, I guess Sammie, I'm going to ask you what your guess
movie.
is. But Sammie, let me ask Josh first. You're really building up for things while we're Josh, what do you think this movie is?
This Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
Sammie, what do you think?
That is so much more likely, but I'm still taking a shot with an obscure movie that is not so obscure that you wouldn't use it. Is this the Bollywood movie, The Hero?
I mean, this movie comes in at 3 hours, 21 minutes. It's called Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
I mean, of course it is, but I'm going fucking obscure tonight, okay?
It took Josh 43 episodes, but he decided to try on one of these.
I'm letting people know Sammie James has actually seen a lot of fucking movies.
Also in Return of the King, under frightening and intense scenes, 2 of the characters descend into violent madness. The first of these is marked by a transformation into a creepy creature. That scene's particularly intense. Frightening and intense scenes, the ending of the film is emotionally intense. It is one of the most emotional scenes in motion picture history to some. I'm not sure which scene they're talking about. There's 124 end scenes in Return of the Kings. As far as I know, it's still ending.
Yeah. It's still
Violence
going.
and gore. In the extended edition, a man walks out of a black gate. He's wearing a mask but he has cut around his mouth and has a little dry blood. A man then angrily decapitates him. We see the head roll, no blood, though we do see blood on the man's sword. And violence and gore, 2 characters fight for a ring. They bite and push each other until one chokes the other to death in a scene with a slightly intense atmosphere.
I like how they use angrily decapitated. Like, how else are you gonna decapitate somebody? I love you, man.
I mean, it could be a real whoopsie daisy.
The decapitation, the limb removal and such things in Audition are actually very gleeful. She's really happy.
The Canadian version has a different type of decapitation. We're just like, sorry, I chopped your head off, sorry.
Yep.
Josh is at 10 points, wildly enough. Danny and Jessica tied in second with 0 each. Sammie's at -1.
You got this.
Josh, would you like a movie from 1965, 1974, or 2004?
It was 65.
65. For 1965, for 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, a man tricks another man into getting very drunk. His drunkenness then leads to a large brawl. You sure you don't have a guess, Josh?
I don't. I
I
don't.
might have one.
I realized I would have had one at 74.
All right, if there's no guesses, we'll do 4 points under sex and nudity. The film centers on a false accusation of adultery, but there is no actual sex or nudity.
Rules out every James Bond movie.
For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, after becoming convinced of Desdemona's infidelity, the main character often yells and rants about the situation.
Oh, God damn it. God damn it.
Shit.
My favorite
wait a
part
second.
of the show.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
All right, hold on. I'm just gonna do it. Let me throw my hand up.
All right, who's throwing their hands up? We got 2 hands up. Anybody
I got
else?
slapped. There goes cheese too.
That works. Danny, what do you think this movie is?
I think this is one flew over the cuckoo's nest.
Josh, what do you think?
This Hamlet.
It is not One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It is not Hamlet.
Oh, oops. All right.
For 2 points under violence and gore, Iago stabs and kills his wife after revealing his wicked plot. The
Son
main
of a
character
bitch.
then stabs, but does not succeed in killing Iago.
Son of a
Ah.
bitch.
I can't. I know what it is. It's not my fucking brain.
I
That's my
had the wrong.
brain.
I had the wrong fucking play.
Nobody else? All right, Josh.
It's right there.
It's Aladdin. No, it's Othello. It's Othello.
Coming in at 2 hours, 45 minutes, this movie is Othello.
I don't remember that one.
Well, maybe this will
Aladdin
help you
feels
remember.
really long if you try and rewatch it.
Frightening and
wrong
intense
play.
scenes. The portrayal of the main character by a white man in blackface, as well as his stereotypical imitation of a black man, may be offensive to some.
Yeah, you know that guy's
Laurence
gonna work again, dude.
Olivier as Othello.
There was a very good version of that. Oh, in the 90s, which was
I
fantastic.
just remember the Lawrence Fishburne one.
With
Yeah,
Was it
Josh
89
Hartnett, I
or
think.
something?
Yeah, remember Julia Stiles did 3 modern Shakespeare movies, like one after the
The
other.
Big O or something like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
she
it was
did
fun.
O, she did Hamlet, and she did 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah.
And that
With the
That
Joker represent.
that Hamlet, if you haven't seen it, the Ethan Hawke Hamlet, which features him doing the to be or not to be soliloquy while wandering a blockbuster, is something to see.
Danny go.
Danny's had it. Now that he knows that Shakespeare's involved,
He
he's
left the show. He's gone.
It was kind of funny that you were saying wandering as he just wanders in the background of his picture.
Also, has anybody seen the Ethan Hawke Tesla movie?
Oh,
No.
which one is it?
Uh-huh. He played Tesla in a movie directed by the same guy who directed that Hamlet. And I want to say Kyle MacLachlan might be Edison, and like Jim Gaffigan is in there. But that's another movie. Ethan Hawke plays Tesla. The end of the movie is him looking directly down the lens of the camera, singing karaoke of Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Sounds like a Baz Luhrmann flick.
It is one of my favorite things. Anyway, now that Danny's back, let's go on to the next. Well, let's say that Josh in the lead with 11, Jessica at 0, Danny and Sammie at -1 each. All right, Sammie, I have a feeling you're not going to love these choices, but let's see. Would you like a movie from 1954, 1958, or 1984?
What was the second one?
58.
58.
All right.
Worst one.
I know.
1958 for 5 points.
Listen, sometimes I just say, fuck it, I'm an agent of chaos tonight.
Under violence and gore, the main character carries a wounded man through the city sewers to safety.
Ooh. I'm just gonna take a stab.
Yeah, why not?
That
You
can't
got
be that
points to
long. That can't be that long.
All right, Josh.
Actually, no, I'm not good. I'm good.
All right, cool. For 4 points under sex and nudity, a woman is attacked by a man on the streets and is charged by the police for committing adultery. But the main character orders her release to let her go home to her daughter. Danny has a guess. Josh has a guess. Josh doesn't have a guess.
No.
Why would you
do,
say
but
Josh has a guess?
I do,
All right.
but I don't.
Danny, what movie do you think this is?
This is the Ten Commandments.
It is not the Ten Commandments. For 3 points under violence and gore, the movie contains violence ranging from fights to a war, as it was in the book, and why the fighting and the violence happened.
Movie.
Ugh.
It's the worst thing. I don't know if this is a movie.
For 2 points under violence and gore, there is a street riot caused by the French rebels that can be seen during the parade.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Josh has a guess, maybe. I don't know. I'll wait for him to put
Yeah.
his hand down.
I got it.
Anybody else?
Go
All
for it.
right, Josh.
This Les Mis.
Yep.
This is a 3.5-hour
Yep, yeah, it
version
is.
of Les Miserables.
I had it at
Yep.
5. I had it at 5.
Yeah, it is.
I had it at 5. Oh,
I think the
trust
French
yourself.
Revolution gave it away.
I'm second guess myself.
You have the points to burn, Josh.
I
Might as
know, I
well
should've
go
just
for
done
go for a high score tonight.
I'm already close to my highest score.
You sure are.
I'm gonna leave now. Fuck it.
Yep.
Final clue under frightening and intense scenes, the movie focuses on the cruel injustice inflicted on Valjean, who struggles with forgiving other people who have wronged him.
I didn't think it was a play. I didn't think it was a movie before it was before it exploded in the 80s.
It's like I was honestly, I was trying to think of another French Revolution movie. I was just like, I don't know. It's
Exactly
Les
same-
Mis.
same-
Les
same
Mis
exact
is the obvious
Yeah,
answer.
right.
Yeah.
But did they make one in '58? I don't remember.
All right, Josh is at 13. Jessica holding steady at 0.
Yes.
Sammy's at -1. Danny's at -2. Danny, we're going to go back to you. Would you like a movie from 1990, 1996, or 2008?
Let's go '91.
That is not one of your options. Would
What
you
was
like
the-
a movie from 1990, 96?
1990. I meant.
Okay.
I thought you said '91. My bad.
91.
Make one up.
1990 for
Yes.
5 points. Under sex and nudity, the man squats while defecating. We see his bare hip and side of buttock.
Huh.
That could be any movie.
It just isn't
I
JFK.
definitely know this scene, but not from
Definitely not JFK.
Also, shout out to JD. I just see them in the comments. Really upset that none of you were getting Les Mis.
I had it at 5. I just
We had Les Mis. It just we didn't get to
JD
hear.
has had so many reasons to stop being my friend today.
Also, hi JD. Thank you again for last week.
Hi, JD.
For 4 points under violence and gore, at the very start of the film, a man is about to have his leg amputated. He lies on a cot while 2 operatives lean over him. Blood is splattered across his chest. Bloody tools are seen on a rack next to the cot. The wound is shown briefly close up, and it's graphic. See Josh and Danny. Anyone else?
My brain is not in it today.
I think that's fair. You saved your good game for me not hosting.
And I'll do it again.
Danny, what do you think this movie is?
Is this Dances with Wolves?
Josh, what do you think this movie is?
Oh shit, that's a better answer.
Mm.
I'm gonna go with Glory. I'm gonna go with Glory.
That's a good answer.
Those are two good answers. It is not Glory. It is 3 hours and 1 minute. It is Dances with Wolves.
Yeah. Glory came out in 92.
I was thinking Glory also, but I'm like, wait a minute. The year. I don't think it was the same year. I don't think
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't.
And I don't think Glory was that long.
I think it was, but it was.
Also, no, JD. It is not Man of the House. I assume you're talking about the Chevy Chase, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Wait, is it the house guest with?
And Farrah Fawcett
You know
was in that movie
what,
too.
JD? You inspired me. Let's have fun.
A very underrated comedy, by the way. House guest with Sinbad.
Also in Dances with Wolves, under violence and gore in the first war sequence, a soldier rides across a battlefield with gunfire all around. The Union regiment charges the Confederates, and there's a massive shootout. Violence and gore, Sioux hunters ceremonially take a bite out of the hearts of fallen prey. And alcohol, drugs, and smoking, Native Americans and Costner smoke from a laurel pipe.
Waterworld.
It's clearly the postman.
Yellowstone, man. Come on.
Josh down to 12. Danny right behind at 2. Jessica at 0. Sammie at -1.
Not for long.
Jessica, feel free to answer at any point if
I'll try.
She's taking the light approach.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
All right. Jessica, would you like a movie from 1968, 2009, or 2013?
2009.
2009. From 2009 for 5 points under sex and nudity. In Yellowstone National Park, one kid mentions to his dad, quote, "I don't want to know where you had sex with mom."
Wait.
Sometimes you hear a clue. Makes sure you can't even make up a fake guess. It's like, I don't want to know what this
I
movie.
think that was the
That's the
point
wrong
of this.
reaction, isn't it?
Jessica,
Oh.
what do you think this movie is?
Is it 2012?
This movie from 2009 is 2 hours 38
I was
minutes.
gonna say
and
that.
it's
I
called
swear to God. Oh my God.
2012.
Wow.
I never saw it.
Give me
Neither
some of
have
them.
I.
I was gonna
Me
point.
neither. I stand by the fact, pretty sure it's the most guessed movie in this
Yeah, I was
show.
gonna say.
Yeah.
Never in the correct year.
Yep.
Also in 2012, under frightening and intense scenes, another scene shows the main characters trying to outrun a volcanic eruption. Many characters and extras die. Frightening and intense scenes, volcanoes erupt, tsunamis happen, cities are destroyed, etc. Violence and gore. The President of the United States is killed by a tidal wave in Washington, D.C., which destroys the White House. And frightening and intense scenes. The entire film is very intense, with prolonged sequences of indiscriminate, wanton mass destruction and extreme frenetic mayhem related to natural disasters. Cities collapse, buildings fall apart, many people die, etc. The tone is extremely grim and obscure, and the film has a dark and unpleasant atmosphere.
I love the fact they mentioned that
You
extras
don't want
die.
to you don't want to put 2012 out in 2012 because what if the world ends before
Exactly.
It's like the whole Back to the Future thing. Everything that was Back to the Future is in the past.
Mhm.
We still don't got a flying car.
I will say it's going to take some research, and I'm not sure I can do it without repeating movies I've used. but a topic that I almost did this month that I think I'm going to save for January is movies that take place in a future that's already happened.
Yeah. Logan's Run. 32, you're dead.
Josh at 12. Jessica playing the long game at 5 points.
Okay.
Danny at 2. Sammie at -1. Josh, would you like a movie from 1956, 2002, or 2009?
Let's go 56.
56. There are a lot of 2009 movies on this list.
And all of them are 2012.
Yeah.
All right.
56.
Josh, would you mind if this movie was from 1966?
That's fine.
Okay, this movie's from
I don't have a
1960.
guess anymore.
I wrote it wrong on my randomizing list, but it's right
Okay.
in the file.
That's okay. I had the
1966.
year for Ghostbusters wrong when I hosted.
You sure did, and none of us could guess in 1994 that it was Ghostbusters.
I was on that show. That was fantastic.
This movie's from 1966 for 5 points under a violence and gore. Numerous men are killed quickly by gunshots, some in one-on-one gun duels, others by military skirmishes and firing squads. Primarily bloodless, but corpses are often shown.
Not that movie.
For 4 points under violence and gore, an interrogator attempts to gouge out a man's eyes, but stops before any damage is done. For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, a scene with a bleeding man who asks Tuco and Blondie to blow up a bridge that is fought by 2 parties of soldiers is rather emotional and includes many sad and touching moments. Josh has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Josh?
The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly?
2 hours, 58 minutes. The Good, the Bad.
It was the first movie to come to me, and I am just like,
I got it off of Tuco. You said Tuco, and I immediately had it.
I was going to say Dirty Dozen, but I
the
forgot
brain
what
is not doing it tonight. I'm like,
That happens.
God, I should have just let JD play tonight. It would at least be more entertaining.
I'm sorry, JD, I missed. I cannot repeat whatever clue you wanted me to repeat. Also in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, under frightening and intense scenes, Angel Eyes is a completely ruthless and sociopathic hitman in the movie. He uses people for his own selfish gains. It should be noted that he is the main antagonist of the movie. Completely different person from For a Few Dollars More in 1965. And Alcohol, Drugs, and Smoking, Eastwood smokes nearly all the time in the movie.
You know what's funny about the reason why Eastwood got the talk through his teeth was so they could dub him in Italian easier.
That's pretty smart.
So that iconic way he talked was because they wanted him to. It was. I just think it's kind of funny that it became iconic for him, and all they wanted to do was be able to dub it easier.
Josh is at 15. Jessica's at 5. Danny is at 2. Sammie's at -1. We still have 25 points on the board. It still can go in any direction.
Yeah.
Sammie, we're about to get real recent. Would you like a movie from 2009, 2019, or 2022?
2022.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody was going to pick it.
That
Already has a guess. We'll see if the first clue helps or hurts that guess. For 5 points, under frightening and intense scenes from 2022, A woman has several outbursts which she lets out demonic-like screams. A woman has several outbursts where she lets out demonic-like screams.
You know what? Sure.
Yeah, you know
Hold
what? I'm
on.
fine with it too.
Okay. Anybody else?
I don't know. I
Josh,
haven't
what do you
seen
think?
it. I haven't seen the damn movie, but maybe Wakanda Forever.
Sammie, what do you think?
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
It is not Wakanda Forever. It is not Everything Everywhere All at Once.
That's fine.
For 4 points under sex and nudity, there is a threesome sequence with vague full female nudity and graphic thrusting and moaning. Female breast nudity is also seen throughout this movie, albeit befitting the plot.
I've seen a couple of movies like that.
I gotta go see more movies and shit.
I've seen a couple of movies like this. They were only 5 minutes long though.
Right?
Oh, hey, Doug Fitzgerald's in the chat. Hey, Doug, come back on the show.
Hey, Doug. What's up,
Also,
Doug?
just to spoil it, it's not Oliver and Company.
Oh well, fuck that then.
All right, Sammie, you have a guess.
You know what? It's like sometimes you want to make a joke guess, and then you say to yourself, "Not for that clue."
Okay. I feel like I'm giving you a lot of not that clue.
No, yeah.
For 3 points under sex and nudity, a woman's nude calendar and other nude photos are seen at various times.
Not Oliver and Company. I've watched the wrong Oliver and Company.
Weird. This is the most adult Pixar movie.
In no JD, it is not Captain America 4, The Boys Are Back in Town.
Not with that attitude.
I mean, listen, I was going to say Spider-Man No Way Home, and I was like, I can't in good conscience say this.
For 2 points, I feel like this might help somebody. Under sex and nudity, Norma Jean's mother's bare breasts are shown during a bathtub scene. A vague front shot is then seen after Norma Jean has been taken in by a neighbor.
And I did wonder if it was this, and but
Anybody else wonder if
didn't
it's
watch
this?
the whole movie.
All right, Sammie, tell them what this movie is.
This is Blonde.
2 hours, 47 minutes. Haven't heard a good thing about it. It's Blonde.
It's I tried. My mom watched the whole thing.
Did you get to the point where her aborted baby's talking to her?
I don't remember.
Apparently that happens. I've also not seen the movie.
Okay.
It's wild, and it's on Netflix. Final clue under frightening and intense scenes. The story of Marilyn Monroe is very depressing, and the movie often shows how tragic her career in Hollywood is.
Oliver and Company.
It's so weird
Yeah.
that a movie based on a book by Joyce Carol Oates.
So in the end, it was all just a dream.
4 movies remain. One more go around, one more for each of you. Josh is at 14. Jessica is at 5. Danny at 2. Sammie finally out of the hole at 0.
Yeah,
You got
Sammie.
this, Sammie. We believe in you.
All right. Danny, would you like a movie from 1962, 1990, or 2004?
2004.
2004. In 2004 for 5 points under sex and nudity. A man is naked in his theater for an extended period. Shadows and camera angles obscure his genitalia. Aren't a lot of kids' movies over 2.5 hours long?
It's probably a good.
Yeah, have you ever had to try to have a kid pay attention for more than a minute and a half.
Yeah, except
Exactly.
for this one.
For 4 points under violence and gore, a man washes his hands until he bleeds.
Oh,
What year is this?
2004.
2004. Okay.
Danny has a guess. Anybody else? Josh is also going to
Not yet.
guess.
Not yet, but I'm
All right,
going to be
Josh.
mad.
It's wrong, but is this the artist?
Danny, what do you think?
The Aviator.
It is not the artist.
Yeah.
It's the Aviator.
It is
Yep.
2 hours and 50
Yeah.
minutes.
Yep.
The second Scorsese
Yep.
movie. Of
I
all
was
time.
waiting until the
The
next clue.
Aviator.
I should get points for having the same first letter.
I know that scene where he washes his hands till he bleeds. I'm like, God damn, dude.
Mhm.
I knew it the second he said it too. I was like, oh no, it's that.
Also in The Aviator, under violence and gore, a man flies a plane and it runs out of gas and drifts towards the ground and then slides some distance through a field. The pilot ends up with minor injury on his foot. We see a bloody sock later. Frightening and intense scenes, a mentally unstable man locks himself in a room for several months. He is seen emaciated and lacks hygiene. He urinates into bottles and throws things.
Oliver and Company.
Sex and nudity. Howard Hughes makes out with Ava Gardner. He walks up behind her and kisses her neck while grinding up on her. He then
was
slides
Kate
his hand
Beckinsale, man.
under the front of her dress and gropes her breast
I
until she
saw
removes his
this movie in theaters.
I still haven't seen it.
I haven't either.
It's
Same.
hard to throw on a 3-hour movie.
Well, I haven't watched RRR yet.
Yeah, I really
I
wish I had
have.
seen that in a theater.
Yeah.
Right. Josh is at 13, but his lead is dwindling now that Danny is at 6 and Jessica's at 5.
There you go.
And Sammy's at 0, but there's still 15 points on the board.
Got to buckle down.
There you go.
Get some right.
All right. Jessica, I believe it's to you. Would you like a movie from 1954, 1984, or 2013?
Let's go with 84.
84. From 1984 for 5 points under Sex and Nudity. A man sensuously kisses the breasts of a woman in a low-cut gown.
It's not that. It's not Ghostbusters. That came out in
I
94.
don't know what year movies come out. I don't know what year movies come out.
For 4 points under violence and gore, at the start of the film, a man is seen with a slit throat with a fair amount of blood shown.
I feel like I know it.
Danny has a
No,
guess.
no,
Anybody
never
else?
mind,
No?
never mind, sorry.
Okay. For 3 points under sex and nudity, several men are fully nude in a mental institution. One man is fully nude with his genitals visible, and another man's backside can be seen.
I want to make a guess, but I don't at the same time.
That can't be the year that movie came out.
That's what I'm saying in my head right now, too.
All right, for 2 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, the main character is seen with a large container of an alcoholic beverage during all of another man's concertos. He is intoxicated at the end of the scene due to that. Josh has a guess. Anybody else have a guess?
Okay, can you repeat these clues?
I will go one by one. Man sensually kisses the breasts of a woman in a low-cut gown. At the start of the film, a man is seen with a slit throat with a fair amount of blood shown. Several men are fully nude in a mental institution. One man is fully nude with his genitals visible, and other men's backsides can be seen. And the main character is seen with a large container of an alcoholic beverage during all of another man's concertos. He is intoxicated at the end of the scene due to that. Well, maybe that helps Sammie. Didn't
Mm.
seem to help anybody else. All right, Sammie, what did you come to?
There is no fucking way that this is Amadeus.
Josh, what do you think?
Amadeus. It's Amadeus.
This movie is 2 hours, 44 minutes. And just a fun fact, I originally added it to the game for the movies rated PG. This is Amadeus. This is a PG movie with dicks and boobs all over the place.
I was
Who's
actually going to say
Barbarella?
1984, but I'm like, no, it's not. So good thing I did.
Final clue, I think, would have really hammered it home under sex and nudity. Salieri interrupts Mozart and his girlfriend as they attempt sex.
This was one of the reasons for the Simpsons line where Homer's trying to
Salieri's
get
like,
home.
don't you have sex with that woman? I'm going to have sex with that woman.
But Homer's trying to get home. Homer's trying to get home instead of visiting Grandpa. He's like inside the action studio with F. Murray Abraham's on. And Marge's like, but you gotta visit Grandpa. F. Murray Abraham.
I've been trying for a year to get a decent score at this game. Danny does it in 1 day.
Oh, this is my third. This is the first time.
Yeah,
came
this
above
is
zero.
Danny's third and his first time he's in positives at this point.
Yeah.
2 movies remain.
I was just riffing on the movie.
That's the joke. And we both ran right over it. Just steamroll. I haven't seen Amadeus.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Dude.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, I've seen 6 of the movies, and I think of the ones we've talked about tonight, I may have seen 1.
Yeah, that's another long one that you don't really realize how long it is because you're just so into it.
See with the 13-year-old without having to get them carded.
All right. 2 movies remain. It's not a runaway yet. Josh is at 15. Danny's at 6. Jessica is at 5. Sammie at 2. Josh, would you like a movie from 1968, 1974, or 2008?
Let's go with 74.
74. Finally, this movie has been sitting on the list for over a year. I added this movie to the list before I started doing themed shows.
Yeah.
So glad we're finally using it. From 1974 for 5 points. Under sex and nudity. A man is seen in nothing but a towel draped over his crotch.
Yeah, throw it out of here.
2 guys' hands went right up. They know exactly what movie this is. Danny, what do you think this movie is?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yep. Josh, what do you think?
Is it Once Upon a Time in America?
It is not Once Upon a Time in America. It is not One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Ooh.
Damn it.
Ouch.
I'll be back. I have to pee.
Well, what do y'all want to talk about?
Oh, that movie should have been Once Upon a Time in America.
Let's see. JD's been chatting up a storm.
Mr. BC.
Mozart is JD's favorite artist of all time. That is a wild choice, honestly.
Yeah.
Like it's somehow like a basic choice that's so wild. JD, I love you.
I rock out to the Zart.
Yeah, we gotta, But I think the week of COVID is just now like coming back to my head, being like, now remember you're at like 60%.
Yeah.
The riffing, it's just not coming in this print. Also, I really hate that sentence I just said.
We all do. We didn't want to say anything.
You know what? I'm gonna read this next clue. We'll see if and when Sammie gets back. I don't know if this would have helped her. I don't even know if she's still playing the game. For 4 points from 1974, under violence and gore, people are seen with sweat, blood, and burns on their faces. Nothing too intense.
Wait a second. No, I don't. Shit.
Mr. Bean's Salacious Secret is JD's guess. Just to repeat, under violence and gore, people are seen with sweat, blood, and burns on their face. Nothing too intense.
74? They should 74? Or when is it?
74. 4-3. Oh, okay. Danny has a guess. Danny, what do you think this movie is?
We're gonna go Blazing Saddles.
That is a good guess. It is not Blazing Saddles, though.
78.
Shut up, Josh.
Oh, I'm Josh. I know when movies came out.
I know when Blazing Saddles came out.
I was sure it was 74 though.
Pretty sure it was 78. I may be wrong. I may have just.
I mean,
Oh, what if it's 70?
I once thought Lady and the Tramp came out in the 80s. You were there, Nick. You were there.
I could be 100% wrong. I just felt like
Josh, what year do you think Blazing Saddles came out?
78.
Danny, what year did Blazing Saddles come out?
74.
Yeah, Danny's right. Shut up,
Yeah, that's
Josh.
good.
I was alive when it came out, man. I was there, man.
Okay,
I
wasn't wrong about the year Bound came out.
But now
How
it's
dare you,
2.5 hour movies. Now that's the other question.
Anyway, for 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, many major characters die on screen. This may be extremely upsetting for some viewers.
Oh, shit.
Many major characters die on screen.
You know what?
Oh, shit. The fuck is the name of it? Oh, wait. I'm going to guess.
All right, I see hands going up and down all over the place. Looks like it's just Josh. What do you think, Josh?
Is this Threads?
It is not Threads.
Damn it.
Nice. This is a good guess, though.
For 2 points under violence and gore, a woman falls 65 stories to her death while her hair and clothes are burning.
Ooh.
Josh has a guess. Danny has a guess. Anybody else?
I don't know if I was that year.
I don't know if it was that year, Sammie. I do not know what you're thinking.
It's fine. Go ahead.
Danny, what do you think this movie is?
Towering Inferno?
Yeah.
Josh, what do you think?
Towering Inferno.
Yeah. That's what
It
I wanted to
is
say.
2 hours, 45 minutes long. It's called The Towering Inferno.
Yep.
And what I love most is 2 of you really worked hard for the 0 you got in that round, and the other 2 didn't. Final clue in that under frightening and intense scenes. People with a phobia of heights should be aware that this film contains subject matter of a 138-floor high skyscraper on fire, with people trapping and sometimes falling from upper floors. Multiple exterior shots are shown of high places.
Yeah, that woman's fallen 65 stories. Don't let that bother you. Just the 138 flames. That's yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine that stunt.
One movie remains.
O.J. Simpson is also in that movie.
He sure is, and I tried to
Bobby
use
Brady,
this for
right?
movie starring athletes, and we never got to it.
Bobby Brady's in it too.
There's so many people in this movie.
Or excuse me, Mike Lookinland.
One movie remains. We're just doing it for fun. I'll just read the scores after this round. Let's go in with a sense of mystery.
Okay.
Sammie, you get to pick the last movie. Would you like a movie from 1954, 1996, or 2013?
2013.
2013. Always keeping me on my toes. I never know where you're going. You're no Josh.
Agent of Chaos, Nick. Agent of Chaos.
Predictable.
This is
All
gas.
right.
We don't do agents here.
Final movie of the night from 2013 for 5 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. Two young women smoke on stairs outside a school. Two women smoke in a dinner table, and people drink champagne at a birthday party. For 4 points under sex and nudity, a character is shown in bed, horny. She puts her hand in her pants and masturbates while her breasts are shown.
Huh.
For 3 points under violence and gore, two teenage girls argue. The argument escalates with name calling and accusations until they lunge at each other and fight briefly. We see them pulling each other's hair and yelling until they are separated by others.
I know the movie. I just can't remember the name of it.
Danny has a guess. Anybody else?
Mm.
What do you think, Danny?
I'm thinking of Anne Hathaway in Havoc.
That is that's not a bad guess, though. I can't imagine that movie's close to 2.5 hours. It is
I
not.
didn't know the
Havoc.
length of it, but I just knew the hand in the pants. I'm like, okay.
Oh yeah, no, yep. I also know that scene. What a wild movie.
Yeah.
What a movie that nobody involved is happy that they're a part of.
It's like, well, is he really using that movie? Come on, that movie was bad. He didn't say he had to do only good movies, right? Just long ones.
No. In fact, I've argued against some of these movies.
Okay, fair enough. You do have some
I
credentials.
do have to read this next clue.
That's fine.
Josh.
It's fine.
For 2
Fine.
points under sex and nudity, Emma paints Adele naked. The camera slowly pans over Adele's naked body. Her pubic area is seen close up, as well as her breasts. The camera cuts to a more distant shot of Adele lying with her legs open, and a pornographic image of between her legs is shown. Again, I'm uncomfortable with the two of you that have your hands up right now.
Probably wrong.
We're going to go for it anyway. Danny, what do you think this movie? Oh, hold on. We got another hand up. Jessica, did you also want to guess? You want to sit this one out?
No, I'd like. No. I'm good.
All right. Sammy, what do you think?
I so want Calendar Girls to be over 2.5 hours.
Danny, what do you think?
Okay, the last clue. What was the last clue? I just had it, but I forgot it.
Yep. Emma paints Adele naked.
Oh,
the
right.
camera slowly pans over Adele's naked body, so on and so forth. We see some nudity.
These could be some old lady names.
I'm not sure of the year, but is it Black Swan?
Josh, what do you think?
Oh.
It's the other color. It's blue is the warmest color.
It is not Black Swan. It is not Calendar Girls. It is 3 hours long. JD also has it. Blue is the warmest color.
Listen, JD gets another reason not to want to be my friend anymore. I've never seen it. It's on the list.
I
It
feel like
hasn't
you don't
happened.
have to. Like, that's another movie I feel like I never hear anything good about.
Okay,
I know
remember,
it's a color.
January 1st, make 100 movies you haven't seen and watch them that year. I
That
challenge all of you.
There you go.
100 movies
is
you have not seen
too
yet.
many movies.
I still
Just
will
100.
not watch
I wanna-
Scarface.
I knew it was a color. I just couldn't remember that. Like
It's the warmest color.
yeah, it's the warmest color. I researched this. I researched the
Not
hell
the
out of
darkest
years.
Oh,
Foul.
you researched this movie?
No, I researched prior to the game, and it was the one that stuck out to me.
I always mean to do that. I never do.
Same.
The final clue, let's wrap this up. I had to use it because we got a word in here I don't think has ever been featured on the show, and I'm so glad that in an inappropriate movie game we finally get to use it. A woman performs analingus on another woman as she moans intensely.
It
A
wasn't
prolonged
Black Swan,
scene
man.
of lesbian sex with full frontal nudity and brief anus views of the actress, 7 minutes. It should be noted that the sex between the two women is simulated with prosthetics used. Nevertheless, it's shot realistically and still very explicit.
It's so
it
funny
wasn't
that
Black
someone didn't
Swan.
research the fact that it was prosthetics being used. Like, there's no way
That's
this is
not a
real.
real
There's
ass.
no way this is a real ass.
But
Yeah.
so proud to bring analingus into this show. That was Blue's the Warmest Color. This was Inappropriate Movie Database. Our final scores tonight: Sammie at 1 point, Danny at 4 points, Jessica at 5 points, but a real runaway of a show, Josh Poirier at 17 points, making Josh the winner tonight.
I tied my
I
highest
finished
score.
above 0 for once.
You sure did. It only takes 3 times.
Hey,
That's my 15th
how many
victory.
times did Josh play before he finally won at 17?
Uh,
Josh was crushing it from the beginning. I knew. I was like, oh shit.
no, Josh was on, I think, the very first episode of The Worst Players.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
But that was like 9 episodes in.
It was with me and Laura Clark trying to go at each other for the lowest score.
ULC. I think that remains the only episode Tyler Durniak has ever won.
Yes. Yeah, I remember me and LC just going back and forth.
Listen, I've won 8 times, and that's a pretty good percentage for 40 times playing.
I got 15 for 43.
Yeah, you're pretty high up there, Josh. I think you have the most wins, but also you have the most appearances.
Yeah. That's
I
true.
think you're finally beating Josh Pick.
I am finally. I was trying to beat his high score with this one. I was trying so hard.
Anyway, let's wrap this up. Let's bring this to a close. Before we go, if there's anything you want to promote, anywhere you want to be found, or any last words, Sammie, I'll start with you.
Yeah. Let me look at my calendar, because I know the virtual stuff, but let me check the dates for all this stuff. I have a bunch of stuff. Most important thing, I'll give you the shows I run. Find me on all social media at Sammie James. And I run a monthly show called The Waiting Room.
What's that?
I have run a monthly show called The Waiting Room. I wish like anyone who's going to be on this month was in this room, but they aren't.
Wish we could talk about it.
Yeah, I wish that was gonna be
Unfortunately,
my
we're
thing
out
to
of
say.
time.
Yeah.
It's a monthly show about like health and body and stuff, and it's comedy and storytelling. Josh is gonna be there. Nick's gonna be there. December 17th. December 17th. It is usually the 4th Saturday of every month. This month it's the 3rd Saturday because I'm not doing a show on Christmas Eve.
Real smart.
But it's a fantastic lineup. We got I'm a Marfo. If you've seen this show enough times, you've seen Mama. We got Kai. Kai is fantastic. We got Elsa
rules.
Eli Waite, a destroyer. We got Dina fucking Hashem, okay? And I have a co-host now, who's pretty great. Okay?
Oh, well, who's the co-host?
No one who's done this show. No one who is currently in the comments screaming at Sammie James. Okay. No, the wonderful JD Stevens co-hosts the show now. They're a delight. If you've seen this show, you know that. I also, for the 2nd year in a row, I am running my New Year's Eve show. New Year's Eve, They, Them, Mayhem. And that's what it is, okay? It's some fantastic performers. The only thing they have in common is they use they, them to some capacity as their pronouns. And they're pretty great, okay? I do not have that lineup in front of me. I will forget someone, but Sir Nick is on that. Fantastic. You might hear poetry. You might hear music. They are a delight. Dot Levine is on that, fantastic guitar player and musician. H.J. Farr, fantastic actor, but like probably doing poetry for that. Okay, I've been in a few things with H.J. H.J. is a delight. We got Andy Basto, great comedian, and 3 other people, okay, who are wonderful.
Basically, you just got a lot of shit with a lot of great people.
Yeah, yeah, and like I'm done. Like that's the stuff I had.
Look out for all of Sammie's stuff, and go to the waiting room on the 17th to hear about some stuff that Josh and I have gone through, as well as other real fun people.
Probably much more talented people than us.
Absolutely. Like I don't know if I want to if I want to say it to her, because I'm sure she's heard it a million times, but Dina Hashem has the roast joke that is in my head most often. Has one of the most fantastic roast sets. Mm-hmm. If you look up on YouTube. Let's talk to somebody who I'm sure has just as many plugs as Sammie. Jessica, do you want to say anything?
Oh yeah, tons. I'm just here. I don't do anything. I'm just here.
Fine. It's fine. You also I'm giving you the floor for a couple of seconds if you just want to say anything but hate speech.
Yeah.
well, damn, there goes her time.
Right? Yeah.
You should hear her off the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Danny, is there anything you want to tell people about?
I got nothing going on. Change that. Well, if you happen to be in West Haven, Connecticut, Saturday morning, I will be there in my Santa suit, taking pictures. Don't cost you nothing. Just show up and come snap a picture with me, and I'll say ho ho ho. And yeah, it's because kind of what I do.
Especially after this episode, I'm thrilled that you announced your Santa.
Heck yeah. You just don't know it's me.
Finally, our winner, Josh. What have you got to say? I saw a little graphic pop up behind you.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be on Sammie's show on the 17th.
We know.
Which I'm excited about. I'm excited about because I got a lot to say. And only in 10 minutes to say it, which is gonna be fun. And also for people in the know who know this logo, I'm gearing up for the return of Interesting Points. It would be the 70th episode, I think, when I come back into it, and I'm looking forward to it in a huge way. It's going to be a big year this year for him, hopefully, and a lot of people were looking forward to coming back, and none more so than me. And we'll be having Nick will be on the show, Sammie will be on the show. Danny, if you want to be on the show, you're on the show. Jessica, if you want to be on the show, you're on the show. So
put JD on your show.
I'm gonna put I don't know. I mean, JD's okay.
Yeah, interesting points.
Of course, JD's gonna be on the show. It's actually the show that I met Nick doing.
Yep.
And that's the reason I'm here.
One of the last, I say it a lot, but it's one of the last pre-pandemic shows I did, back when we were all afraid to even acknowledge coughing on stage.
I've had some amazing guests in the past, like Josh Gondelman's been on the show. Who else? A bunch of people.
Josh Gondelman's enough.
Yeah, Gondelman's enough.
You drop Gondelman, you got a good show.
Yeah, it was Gondelman, and it was a good show. And also the only cast member of the real Road Rules who was never on the Real World Road Rules Challenge was on the show. John Holmes, which was fantastic, fantastic guest, and the guy who played the robot in the Orville.
So go look for those episodes, which I'm sure don't exist.
Oh, they're just somewhere. No, we
can watch these episodes that you're talking about.
The Gondelman one you can't, but the other ones you can. They still exist. I will put a link somewhere.
All right. Well, thank you all. I feel like I'm keeping you hostage now. Let's wrap this up. Once again, Danny Bazongas, Jessica Mayotte, Josh Poirier, Sammie James. I'm Nick Martucci. You can find me on all social media at Blundering Idiom. Find the show on Facebook, search Inappropriate Movie Database, or click the link in the description of this video. Twitter and Instagram at IMDb Game. We will be back. Finally, we're doing Mondays and Thursdays again, 2 times a week. Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on this channel you're watching. So like, subscribe, do all that YouTuber stuff. We'll be back on Thursday at 8 p.m. for a show I'm calling Movies on the Tubes. It's all movies that came out in years that end with twos. So either movies from this year. I have no idea, Sammy. You're either on or not on every episode. That's helpful.
Is that everybody?
Yes, that is how this show works.
You are not on that episode, but listen to this line.
Oh no, I'm booked on another thing. That's why I'm not on that.
We've got on that show Marty Viscosi. We got Paul Kilmer. We got the return of Josh Pick. It's been a long month without him.
Jesus Christ!
And we've got the aforementioned L.C. Clark.
Wow!
It is. Strap in, make some popcorn. We're going to be there a while.
That's a chaos.
You should let
that's
JD host that one.
It's almost always a bad idea when I put Pick and LC in the same episode. We'll see if that continues.
Is he recovered from falling down the stairs yet?
I mean, his long-term memory's fine, but
short-term memory.
I'm not going to sit here